welcome to HC Youth. I'm Tatum Young, and I'm a sophomore, and this is my co-host.
Hi, my name is Sienna Lambert, and I'm going into 7th grade.
Awesome! Guys, before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment your name.
Because we want to know more about you.
Yes, we're going to give you guys a shout-out.
Let's go ahead and turn it over to Matt so he can take us to church.
All right, we're going to take him to church right now with one of our team members, Micah Johnson. Micah, we're doing a series on water. Okay, we're doing a series on water. Can you take us to church on water?
Okay, so, in the Gospels it says, drink this, being the holy water, like being Jesus. Like, if you're not drinking the holy water or the living water of Jesus Christ, then you're just going to keep being thirsty. Like, the world is going to be full of salty people. I mean, like, let's talk about, like, salty people. If you just keep drinking the world's water, like, it's going to be salty. So, I mean.
Boom, drink the living water. You heard it here. Micah, take him to church. This is one of our students, Logan. Logan, can you take us to church on water? We're in a water series. We need to know. Take us to church on water.
So, in the lesson today, he was going over how the pressure crushes down on us. It's not the only thing pressure does. So pressure can also turn water into a jet stream that can pierce. God pierces into us and reaches our heart so we can know what we need to know and follow him correctly.
We got our boy Dane over here, one of our team members. Dane, how you doing, dude?
I'm great. How are you?
That's great, dude. I'm going to ask you a favor. I know you're not ready for this right now, but that's okay. We're never ready. Now, our series is about water. Splash. Can you take us to church on water?
Water. So I'm going to say that Jesus is the fountain. He's the true water. There's no other water that will quench our thirst than the water he offers us.
Drink the living water.
I love that. Those are some really real answers. And speaking of real, here at HC Youth, we believe in being real. It's easy to be real, you know you are.
Recognized,
Enough,
accepted,
and loved. This month, our series has been Splash, like a water-themed series about Jesus. And it's been so fun and perfect for the summer.
Last week, Matt gave us an amazing message. Let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Now, this is probably like throwing her off a little bit. But Jews and Samaritans, they were enemies. They hated each other. Samaritans, weren't liked at all in the Jews' perspectives. They were a crossbreed between a Jew and then pagans, other cultures. And the Jews didn't like that. So the fact that there's a Samaritan and that there's a Jew and they're talking to each other, that's rare. She's like, why are you talking to me? I'm thirsty. You talking to me? We don't like each other. You're talking to me? He says, if only you knew who you were talking to. There's times Jesus steps into our lives and he wants to show you something. He wants to speak to you. He wants to bring someone into your life. And there's times we get caught off guard that he would even want to look at us or see us. We're like, wait, why are you spending any time with me? Maybe there's a label that someone gave you, or there's a name that has haunted you, or the way someone has treated you, or the way someone has abandoned you, the way someone has done something to you. You've believed those things, and the fact that someone would tell you that Jesus loves you, it's hard to believe that. And you almost reject it, and you're repulsed when you hear him even want to spend time with you, and you're like, me? No. I've seen him work in other people's lives. I've seen him do miracles in other people's lives, but he's not going to do that in mine. No way. He's saying, if only you knew the gift God has for you.
I love that message. Sienna, do you have any takeaways?
Yes, actually I do. When Matt said Jesus had to go through Samaria, he didn't just want to, he had to, because
that's a big difference.
Jesus knew where she was at, and she couldn't hide from Jesus.
Yeah, that's awesome. You wanna know what else is awesome? This week is our 2-year anniversary of HCU.
That's crazy. It's already been 2 years.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, I think we're getting a message. I think it's time to turn over to Matt.
All right. Thanks, Tatum and Sienna. I have here David, son of Mac. So it's our 2-year anniversary coming up, dude, and we want to ask you what has been one of your favorite memories in HCU these past 2 years.
Camp has been pretty awesome both times. Just coming here and hanging out with everyone, it's pretty fun.
What are some of your favorite memories from the past 2 years?
9-ball and camp playing goggle ball.
Amen. Have you ever spiked it on someone's face and made them cry?
No, but Micah tried dunking on me once, and I blocked it and dunked on him.
You heard it here,
Like
folks.
6 foot something. So
You heard it here.
And I'm fine
Well
with
done.
three.
Well done. Well done. All right, so what has been one of your favorite moments? We're coming up on our 2-year anniversary. What has been one of your favorite moments in the last 2 years?
I would have to say at camp when we were all doing axe throwing. That was really good.
That was one of the scariest moments for me. What about you, young lady?
That was
This is my first day here.
She doesn't even go here, but so axe throwing was super scary. Well, thank you. Back to you.
A lot of memories pop back into mind. We're about to get our games going, so we're gonna close. And remember, youth matter.
Yeah.
All right, so 2 announcements before I call Goggles up here. One, the last Wednesday of this month is your last Wednesday in that grade. So for you senior apostrophe or like whatever the bracket thing asks if there's multiple seniors, you have now transitioned out of HC Youth, and you have young adults that we have on Monday nights after that. So it's if you are an 8th grader, your last Wednesday night in 8th grade is the last Wednesday of this month, and then you go as a freshman here at HC Youth. Whoop, whoop. Now you guys could do that. So that's our transition weekend, is the last Wednesday of this month is your last Wednesday in that grade. And now, let me pray us in and invite Goggles. You come on up here. Everyone get up for Goggles, and I'm going to pray. Lord, thank you for this evening. Thank you for these leaders and students. Thank you for Ethan, Lord, for bringing him here and just for what you're doing in his life, even outside of here. I just ask that you speak through him mightily. Help us not be distracted, but to focus on the word. So, Lord, remove distraction, remove temptation, remove those things right now so we just get to hear and learn more about you. We love you, Lord, and praise you in your name. Amen. All right, so let's welcome on up Mr. Ethan, a.k.a. Goggles.
Woo! How are we doing today? We're doing great. We are doing phenomenal today. Just so I can give you guys a little bit of time, we're going to turn all the way to 2 Samuel 22. Shout out if your middle name is Samuel. Oh, wait, that's my middle name, so we're good to go. Shout out myself. So I found this word out last Wednesday, and I'm 19, and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting old at 19. But someone said, apparently there's like the younger version of the word lit, which is matches. And to me, it makes no sense because who has the word this is going to be matches? Raise your hand. That's crazy. Okay, so this message is going to be matches, and you're going to see why after. So you're going to turn all the way to 2 Samuel 22, go all the way over there. We're going to hop in pretty quick. We're going to hop through about 1 all the way through 20, but we're going to skip a little bit in the middle. That's what we're going to be going through. So now we are continuing in our series of Splash. Today, the title is Waves of the Word. So I'm going to give you a little explanation of what happened with the idea of this teaching. So Matt came up to me. He said, yo, Ethan Goggles, I have an idea for you. I want you to plan out a cool message or like a series. I was like, oh, okay, cool, let's get going. So one day, driving back from Canes, got my 6-finger combo. I'm delighted to be in life right now. And I'm driving around, and I was like, man, we gotta do a water game today because it's summer. And I was like, oh, why don't we do a water series? That would be cool. We had something with water. We can go through like woman at the well. We can do just like basic water. We can do a bunch of there's so many things we can do. And I was like, Matt, I have an idea for this. And I started telling him, he's like, wait a minute. We got to get Micah Man over here, and you got to listen to this. And I was like, Micah, listen to this. And he's like, that's crazy. I had the exact same idea. So this was meant to happen. So this is meant to happen. It is happening. It is in the process of happening. It is... I don't even want to say matches. I just feel old just saying it. I just like I say matches look right at Matt. You know what I mean? It's just a thing. You got it. No. But we are continuing our series of Splash. This is the 3rd week. We were in 2 Samuel. Water. Who knows a compound name for water? O2 is crazy. O2. Where's her mom at? What school you go to? Oh my days. But water. So today we're going to be focusing on, you guessed it, water. Water is a compound made of hydrogen and oxygen, H2O. When you get to chemistry, it'll make a bit more sense. But water is a compound, And every single living thing on this planet relies on water. You rely on water, your dog relies on water, your plant relies on water. Everything living and also not living relies on water on this planet. So water is the foundation. I try to think of like, what is not made of water or what does not have water in the process? I was like, plastic. I was like, well, you need to heat up water to form the plastic. I was like, so that doesn't work. Boats. I was like, boats for water, so that obviously does not work. So just like water is the foundation for like everything, and at some point water comes on in the process. Water is needed, it is necessary, it is gonna happen, it's just gonna happen at some point. Water, it grows the trees, it heals the body, it does everything, it carves the valleys and the mountains, it does the rivers, it does the oceans, the seas. It's water. It's everywhere. It's calm, it's raging, it's still, it's sparkling, it's LaCroix. No, I'm kidding. So we're gonna go on. By the way, LaCroix is a really good beverage, so just want to put that out there. The worst beverage, if you drink Arrowhead, I'm sorry, we just can't be friends. I'm sorry, that's just me though. I will go to the nearest lake and drink that lake water before I drink Arrowhead. I'm not drinking Arrowhead. It's just not gonna happen. But anyways, water is just essential. And when I thought about it, I was like, well, water is everywhere. What else is everywhere? God is everywhere. I was like, yeah, God is everywhere. And when I wrote this down, I put, water is God's way of showing himself in everything we do. And I was like, that makes sense. But I was like, I got to explain this some more. So when I thought about this, when we drink water, it's our way of like quenching our thirst, right? Like Matt said, woman at the well, the living water quenches our thirst. Even the waves in the ocean exalt the Lord. Every time they crash, before they're about to crash, they come up and they slam down and they're praising the Lord with every wave, every crash, every single thing they do. The water is praising the Lord. Even water that we're talking about is praising the Lord. Everything he is in everything we do, right? And while water is one of the most influential things and positive things in our life, right? You go to the pool, you drink it, you have fun with it. I throw water balloons at a couple of you guys and I enjoy it. With everything, it makes my week sometimes. Like sometimes I'm like, these youth kids are gonna catch the fastest water balloon I can ever throw. No, I'm kidding. But water is just one of the most essential things out there. And with water, there's a lot of like negative things that can happen, right? There's a lot of pressure in it. When you go down, there's a reason why someone can't just like put on a couple fins and then go straight down the water, right? It's just, there's too much. Once you get down to a certain depth, there's just too much pressure with it, right? Water, there's tsunamis, there's water spouts, there's like, when the water pulls you out super far, there's currents, right? There's a lot of stuff that water can do that is bad, but it's not the water that's doing the bad, right? It's just you feel the weight of the world's water right above you, right? So the world's water is just feeling a lot of pressure on you, and that's what you feel, is the pressure of the water of the world. So before we get into this, we're going to pray, we're going to put our heads together, and we're going to start praying. Dear Lord, I pray that we just have a great time today in today's message, Lord. I pray that it's not me speaking, it's you through me, Lord, and I pray that these students just get filled with your word today, and we dive into you and just understand just what you're trying to show us today, Lord, and I pray that everything you show to us today and everything that you're going to show to us later, that it just benefits us like drinking the living water. In your name, amen. Here we go. Backstory, David. David was rescued from his enemies, and he was on his way back from said enemies, and he was singing a praise to the Lord. He was saying, thank you for what you have done for me in my life. I'm going to sing to you like no other. He was hunted like an animal for countless years, right? He was always running. He was always having to look over his shoulder. He was always skeptical about who he had to talk to, who he didn't have to talk to, stuff like that. He was always feeling the pressure of the world. And that is something all of us feel today. As doesn't matter if you're in elementary school, which I don't think we have, middle school and high schoolers, doesn't mean like oldest to youngest, you're going to feel the pressure of the world at some point in your life. You may feel it now, you may feel it later, it's going to happen. So, your pressure might be different from somebody else's. Your pressure might be from friends. Yours might be from family. Yours might be from your teachers. Yours might be from your best friend wanting you to do something you know you don't want to do. Yours might be from something you know you can't do, but you still want to do it. Your pressure is different from everybody else's. The one thing it has in common, it's pressure. It's weighing on you. It has a feeling on you. And sometimes there's only one thing that you can do to get rid of that pressure. And I'm going to show you exactly who can do that for you. So we're going to hop over to 2 Samuel 22:5. The waves of death overwhelmed me. Floods of destruction swept over me. The grave wrapped its ropes around me. Death laid a trap in my path. So that's just right there. He just got straight to the point. He was like, look, I'm under the pressure of the water. I'm hurt. I'm down here. It's hard to breathe. I can't take it right now. There's just so much on me. But the weight of the water of the world that weighs on you is nothing compared to the freedom that the water of the word relieves from you. Let's go. I got it. I practiced that so hard. Thank you. That was a tongue twister. That was hard, but we got it. The weight of the water of the world that weighs on you is nothing compared to the freedom that the water of the world relieves from you. Think about that. If you want to write it down, it's right there. It's awesome. But he just got straight to the point. He was like, look, the waves are just over me. They're just overwhelming me. It's just wave after wave, right? I have to go to school and this person wants me to do this. I don't want to go do that, but this other person, if I don't do that, this person's going to be mad at me. And it's just, you're just sitting in these waves of just constantly getting destroyed. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. Back in 2011, my dad was in the Air Force, and we were in Japan on 2011, March 11th, I want to say. And that is the same day the Japanese tsunami/earthquake hit. Crazy. It was a crazy story. I was supposed to fly back to Arizona that day, but something happened, and we were sitting in our living room, and we just feel like the ground just starts shaking super hard. Like, we go outside, and, it wasn't like the cars were just shaking. They were full on, it was like someone's in the car, putting it forward, reversing it, putting it. It's just constant. And you could, if you look far enough, you could see the literal earth just making its waves in, the ground. And it was just something you just couldn't see. And then, sure enough, we go on the news, and here comes just this massive just water. Thankfully, I didn't experience it. I was in the middle of Japan. So as you can see, all the water is getting pulled out, right? And you see these boats right here. They're getting pulled. And when this water hit, it was, not only was it a 9.2 magnitude earthquake, which is massive, it created a tsunami that just destroyed everything in its path. Everything. And it went inland. It didn't just stop at the shore. It went in for miles. And it's not like, oh, I can outrun that. That is at least 10 feet of water just coming at you with the full strength that it's capable of. And it just keeps going on for minutes and minutes. And there's people on the rooftops right there. Thankfully, they're safe. But all the people that are down there, they didn't know what's going to happen. Experiencing that and watching that as I'm sitting in the house the same land is on. It was just, that's a tsunami. And that was so powerful that it happened closer to Japan, but a tsunami still hit all the way in Chile in South America. It went all the way around. And it's just that weight of that water. Because sometimes we're going to start going through a hard time in life, and it feels like one wave after another, or one just big one's going to come, and you're going to be so disoriented. You're going to be like, I don't know what to do. I'm spinning around in circles. I don't know how to control my life right now. Everything's just falling apart. Everything's just not going right. And you think you're caught in the water. You think you want to go up for some air, and you just feel the pressure, and finally, you're just like, God, I need you to come get me. I need you to save me. Because every hard time that comes your way, it does not matter if you have put yourself there or if God has allowed you to be there, there's only one answer to do, and that's always call out to God. Because he is everywhere, and he sees you, he hears your cries, and he will always be there for you. Whether you like it or not, or you don't want him to be there, he is always going to look out for you, and he's always going to be there for you, no matter where you are or what you're doing. Because that water that he has from his word is way stronger, way more powerful, and living. That is a water that is going to get you and save you. 2 Samuel 22:7-20 says, in my distress, verse 7, I called to the Lord, I called out to my God. From his temple he heard my voice. My cry came to his ears. And the minute he did that, the minute he called out and said, Lord, I need your help. Please help me. I can't take this burden. I can't take this weight. Take it. It's almost like he said, all right, I'm going to need you to step back real quick. And it just going through, verse 8, the earth trembled and quaked. Verse 9, smoke rose from his nostrils. Verse 10, he parted the heavens and came down. He came to you. He met you where you are, or he will meet you where you are. You don't need to get out of the water to meet him on land. He will meet you where you are. He came down from his kingdom to meet you where you are at, and he will still do it to you to this day. Right now, he will do it. Verse 11, he soared on the wings of the wind. 13, bolts of lightning blazed forth. 15, he shot his arrows and scattered the enemy. 17, he reached down from on high and took hold of me. He drew me out of deep waters. He rescued me from my powerful enemy, from my foes who are too strong for me. That means that there is nothing on this planet, living, not living, that is even remotely as strong as the Lord is. Doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter what temptation you're having, doesn't matter what thoughts, what feelings, nothing that you are having that the Lord can't pull you out of. There's nothing. There's nothing. The first thought that comes to your head right now that was like, this is too strong. I can guarantee you he can pull you out of it. There is nothing, no trouble, no water that the Lord cannot pull you out of. All you have to do is call out. All you have to do is call out. The same God who parted the Red Sea is the same God who can show you how to leave a certain scenario. The same God who turned water to wine is the same God who can turn your brokenness into a testimony. The same God who you think will never want you because of what you have done is saying, come to me, son or daughter. Come to me. I'm right here. He will come to you. But he's saying, I need you to call out to me. I can't open the door for you. I need you to open the door for me. You need to let me in. You need to let me in. I have felt broken by this world, by this water. I have felt destroyed. I have been broken down to my core. A year ago, broken down to my core. Down to rock bottom. But the best thing about being at rock bottom, there's only one way to go. And I promise you, it's a lot better when you rebuild your house on a firm foundation than on what broke you in the first place. If you try to rebuild it on something you're trying to fix, why would you rebuild a foundation that's already broken? Start all over. Start with God. Be like, I need you here with me. Let's do this. And he'll be like, solid, man. You let me in. Let's get building. Let's get working. Because, like, he loves you. Right? Doesn't matter what you've done. He paid for it. He's like, look at my hands. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're my son. You're my daughter. You called out to me. I'm going to be there. No matter what you've done, there's nothing you have done that is not going to keep him away from you. He's not going to be like, sorry, man, that was the one thing I said you couldn't do. He's not going to be there. He's not going to say that. He's going to say, you called out to me. I'm going to be there. And he's going to be there. Because God sent his one and only son to this very earth to die on the cross for all of your sins. Every single one of you. And it doesn't matter what someone says about you. It doesn't matter what you say about you. The only thing that matters is what God says about you. Because he came and died on this earth and rose 3 days later for you to go to heaven. And all you have to do is call out to him. Say, Lord, I am broken. I feel this pressure. I feel this weight of this world on me. And all I can do right now is just look up to you. Because in Genesis, it even says it. The world is formless, it's shapeless, and he's standing above the waters. And he's looking down at you. Or he's looking down at the world. But if you're under that water, he's up there, he sees you. And all he's asking for is you to call out to him and say, Lord, I need you here with me. I need you to pull me out. And that's all it takes. It's not like, oh, here, I'll give a couple money here, and then I got to do this. I got to go walk my dog. And then it's like, no, he wants to meet you where you're at because he loves you. All right? So what we're going to do right now is I want you all to bow your heads and close your eyes right now. All right? And just know that there is nothing out there that there's not a single part of you that the Lord has not created in his image. Everything from the way you look to the way you are to the things you do to everything. He loves you for who you are, and he is going to love you for what you will become. Because you are God's child, son or daughter, you are his. And all you have to do is call out. So all I want you to do is, if you're just if you're in that position right now, and you're just like, God, yes, you're right. I need you back. I'm broken right now. I have this pressure on me. I can't take it anymore. It hurts too much. It's so much. It's affecting me, and it's just pulling me away from you deeper and deeper. What I want you to do right now is just repeat after me. You don't have to say it out loud. You can just say it to yourself. I just want you to repeat after me. Lord, thank you for everything you have done. Lord, I know that I have sinned, and I know that I have done wrong. But I know that you love me, and I love you, and I am yours, and you are mine. Lord, please show me your way for me. Lord, take these feelings away from me. Lord, show me the way. Lord, I love you. Lord, I need you. And now I want you to keep your eyes closed and your heads bowed. Keep them down. And if that was you today, and it just really just hit you, and it just made you, just hit you down to your core, and it just made you really just, I'm going to be honest, it just hurt. And it was a good hurt. It needed to hurt for you to know. If that was you today, and it hurt you and it hit you, and this was the day you came back to the Lord, I just want you, just raise your hand. Just raise your hand so I can celebrate with you. Just put your hand up so I can just say, awesome, man. That's awesome. I see you right here in the front. You're right here in the second row. That's awesome. You in the back, I see you. That's awesome. You 4 ladies in the second row, that's awesome. Because he will meet you where you're at no matter what. He sees you. He hears your cries. He knows you. He knows your heart. I see you right there in the back. Awesome. All right. You guys can put your heads up now. Just know God never stops. He will never stop. He is always going to pursue you, and he's always going to follow you to wherever you go. No matter what you do, good or bad, he's always going to go. He always wants you there, and he always wants to be there with you. So no, God never stops. That is all I got. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pray. Then we're going to go into small groups. So here we go. We're going to put our heads together. We're going to bow our heads one more time. We're going to pray. Dear Lord, I thank you for this, just your way of just showing yourself every day in everything we do, Lord. I just pray that we just continue going on our lives and just looking for you in everything we do, no matter if that's just simple as just driving down the road. We just find ways to look at you and admire everything you've done. And Lord, I pray for those kids today who just came back to you and were like, yes, Lord, I'm broken. I can't keep going down this road anymore. I need you here, Lord. I pray that we have a great rest of this week and a great rest of July, Lord. And we have some fun in our small groups. Your name, amen.
Hey, can we give a hand for Ethan real quick before you get up? Let's give him